Hello, good morning everybody, and welcome to my second video. Peter Berry, living with Alzheimer's. Little sort of weekly documentary of my life. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for your response last week. It was overwhelming. I can't believe A, how far the video travelled, and B, what you people had to say about it. Your positive feedback really only reinforces in me the need to do this. So yeah, I'll continue to do. Thank you so much. Now, I've just sat through the first video I did, just have a look, because I've forgotten just about everything that I've said in it, and I thought, rather than run the risk of re-going over everything, I would watch it. Now, I mentioned in there last week that I would touch on the subject of the drug trial that I was on to help me with this condition, but I want to leave that till next week, because during the week I had a couple of questions. Well, it was quite a few questions actually. Quite a lot of the questions were about relatives being upset when their relatives didn't recognise them, you know, mother didn't recognise daughter, and that sort of thing. And I wanted to just touch on that and give you a little insight into what that's actually like. I suppose the easiest way to explain it, and the best way to explain it so that everybody has got an idea, is the tip of the tongue scenario. And that's something that everybody has experienced. When you're having a conversation with somebody and it's on the tip of your tongue, it's there, but it's not quite there. And during that conversation, the word that you're looking for, whether place or person's name or whatever, will come back to you. And it's chonking around in there, and boom, it's there. Now, with people like me with dementia, that tip of the tongue moment is there quite a lot. It's there most of the time. So the next time you have that tip of the tongue feeling, take that feeling for a split second and try and emulate that in your everyday life. And that gives you a little insight. It's the problem that we have is that you're not really sure if a room has been changed or not. You're not really sure, have you been away, or you think you probably have, but as time goes on you're not really sure. Do I know that person? I think I recognise their face. And is it not? I'm not really sure. And it's that tip of the tongue feeling. And I still recognise a good percentage of people, but there are those, and quite a few, and increasingly more and more, that I do not recognise. And we get very good at winging it. We get very good at breezing over it so that you, an individual who are talking to us, wouldn't know, but in actual fact our poor little brains are racing like mad all the while. Now, it's like going into the local supermarket. I don't know how many hundreds of times I've been in there, and yet every time I go in there it's just like going into a brand new shop. I have no idea or no recollection where anything is. And actually I can walk out of the shop and go back in 2 minutes' time and I still have no idea, because that memory of going into the shop is completely gone. My wife's car, I have no idea sitting here what make, model, shape or even colour the car is. But I do often recognise it when I see it. Yet I have no idea where the car is parked. So, you know, that you need somebody with you all the while. But it's this constant tip of the tongue feeling which is a problem. And I think in actual fact, if you don't recognise somebody, or if your relation doesn't recognise you, then I don't think that people should get too upset, because you're still their relation. Nothing's changed your end. It's our end. And I think all we really want is just for people to be a friend at that day, yeah, just go with us. And something else I'd like to share. It actually brings me on to something else. This business of not remembering, it can be quite overwhelming, and it can affect your mood. And people with dementia, we tend to get very low at times. And I mean, it's like, everybody's gone through it who's been diagnosed. In the first instance, depression can creep in, and it can be a very funny time. And I mean, I'm pretty bulletproof. I'm not a glass half full man. I'm a glass overflowing man. But even I get days that are a little bit. The enormity of the condition can be quite overwhelming, and the prospect of what is to come. And I want to share with you a little something that I devised to help me with that. And I'm sure it will help others as well. And it's rather a simple solution to a pretty complicated problem. And what it actually is this here. And it's my little positive book. It's really just a little book with things that I have achieved, little 1 and 2 liners on the pages, just little things, nothing too much, nothing, and it's written in my handwriting. And whether it's something in the garden, or a different place I've cycled, or something I've done in the kitchen, or whatever, it doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's a positive thing. And the idea is that when I get a bit low, I pick this book up. Now remember, I have no idea what's in the book, even if I've read it a day ago or 2 days ago. I have no idea. So it's like I picked up the first time. And I go through it, and I realise that I've done this, and wow, you did that, yeah. I don't remember doing it, but I must have done it because it's in here. And I did this. And it then dawns on you that in actual fact, there's plenty of stuff that you have done over the last X amount of months, and there's still stuff that you do. And it actually perks you up. It makes you feel as though you do have a worth. And you're probably, in your own mind, you still can achieve things. And I generally only get to about the 5th or 6th page, because they're the only pages that are worn and got finger marks on, and the rest of them are all, they're written in, but they're all brand spanking new. So it works. So, little positive book. It's something for people like me. Either a carer could do it or whatever, and you know, it works for me, so I see no reason why it shouldn't work for others. It's better than any medication, and let's face it, nobody wants depression in their life really at the end of the day. Just a little thought that I had a few questions over the week, and if anybody wants to ask me any questions during this coming week about what it's like to live with the condition, or any little tips that I can give, then I'll do my best to answer them, because you know, doctors do know a lot of stuff. Professional people know about the mechanics of it, but they don't actually live it like we do 24 hours a day. So, you know, sometimes it's difficult to sit here and think of things to say, especially with Alzheimer's. But if I've got direct questions, and sometimes it can make things go a little easier. Okay, well, I've rattled on now for over 9 minutes, so I hope that I've enlightened you a little bit again this week, and I hope that it's done some good. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for all your comments, and have a great weekend, have a great week, and I will talk to you again Friday next week. Thank you. Bye.